Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to six, and the general manager of Dan Cummins Chevrolet Buick in Paris, Kentucky, the second largest used car franchise dealer in the United States of America. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning. What's up, guys? You guys should have seen me over here. I was over here like bobbing my head, dancing to the music this morning, thinking everything was cool, you know, so over here sipping on my ketones while I was listening to the intro, and then I realized I wasn't even streaming it. I wasn't streaming it to you guys. It was just me solo, bobbing my head, listening to the intro. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Today is Tuesday, April 10th. We are going to tap into a couple stories. I've got a couple stories that I got to tell you guys today. But before we get into those stories, these are some super cool stories. Before we get into those stories, I do have to tell you that today is my son's birthday. He is 1 year old today, and that's truly exciting for me and my wife, man. It's our fifth child together, my sixth child, and today's his first birthday. So I'm going to post a pic of my boy later, but super, super, super cool that he's got that going on. So, good morning, everybody. Like I said, we're going to tap into a couple stories that I want to tell you. But before we do that, we need to say good morning to everybody in the group, which I don't even see anybody yet, but that's okay. I know you guys are here. There it is. Now I can see you guys. So we got to say good morning on this awesome Tuesday, and then I got some awesome stuff for you. So, of course, we got to get the music going while you guys are sharing the feed and doing all that stuff. And I do want to tell you we had a contest, and the winner of our contest, the winner of some Rise and Grind gear is Miss Miranda James. Miss Miranda James invited all kinds of people to join us in the group. Hopefully some of them are in here this morning. But good morning, Mickey Lockhart. Good morning, Josh. Good morning, Patrick Booth. Good morning, Steve Wetmore and Beth Workman. Good morning, Tom Sizemore, Prince Sinsuit. Good morning. What's up, my man? Good morning, Chip Anderson. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Aaron D. Jones and Little Rushford Barnes. What's up? I'm hoping you and Megan can hook up. New friends. I love that. Good morning, Melvin. Good morning, Scott Simon, Scott Wells, Leon. Everybody, it's an incredible morning. Everybody's up in here today, and I love it. I love it, man. I do. I love it. So cool. All right, check it out. We are going to tap into a couple things. We got a couple things we got to learn today. A couple stories I got to share with you that are going to be incredible. You're going to love them. All right, so the first story I'm going to tell you, there's this girl, right? There's this girl, and she was a bartender at the time. She was a bartender. She was working at a small little dive bar. And so she's working at this dive bar, and she also had another job. She was working part-time at a steakhouse, okay? So she's working at a dive bar. She's working at a steakhouse, and she meets this dude, and they kind of hit it off, but they're both, you know, it's one of those relationships where they get along great. They're passionate about everything, but they're also passionate about drinking, and they're also passionate about fighting. And there's just a lot of passion in this relationship, right at the gate. And so they meet, and one night they're out and they're fighting and they're arguing, and she decides to jump in her car and she decides to drive off at 70, 80 miles an hour in a snowstorm. And so she's driving, she's mad, she's headed to the bar, she's going to go have some more drinks, and she ultimately ends up, she hits a curb, spins her car around backwards, goes into oncoming traffic. Another car comes up behind her, smacks her in the back of her car, blows her car up, and blows her back up. She breaks her back in 17 different places. She almost dies, right? She almost dies. So then she goes to the hospital, and they fuse all her bones all together, and her and this guy, they're still kind of talking a little bit, but her parents are telling her, stay away from this guy. It's bad news. You guys are just bad for each other. And so they kind of stay away from each other, but then ultimately her birthday rolls around, and so they get together on her birthday, and they both just kind of assume it's going to be one last hurrah, just to kind of end the relationship on a high note. So they go to dinner together. She's in a back brace and everything, man. They go to dinner together, and then they decide to part ways. And it's not long where she finds out she's pregnant, man. She finds out she's pregnant from this dude that, like, it was tumultuous, and they decided, their relationship was pretty much over. And so she finds out she's pregnant, and she reaches back out to the guy, and he's not really interested. He's not really interested because they just fought so much, man. It was just too tumultuous. So he's like, nah, I'm good. And he's seeing other girls and stuff. And so here she is, man. Just picture this girl here. Here she is, dude. She's in a back brace, like this full-on back brace, right? Because she broke her back in 17 different places. So she's in a back brace. Okay, she was staying with her parents, but now she was having to stay at her friend's house because she had gotten kicked out of her parents' house because her parents actually found a little bit of like a joint in her jacket when she was laid up. When she was laid up there in a back brace with a broken back from an accident that she had, her parents found a joint in her backpack, man. So they kicked her out of the house. So now she is. She's staying at a friend's house. She's got this back brace, like full body back brace to hold her straight. She's still trying to get to work at the restaurant so that she can serve. She straps on her back brace and she gets to work so that she can serve, right? So she can make a little bit of money. So she's still trying to do that. She's pregnant, right? She's pregnant and she's trying to get back with this guy, but he's not having it. So she's feeling down and desolate, and she gets with her dad, and her dad helps her get into some low-income housing. So she gets into the low-income housing, and she's taking a bus. She doesn't have her car because she blew it up when she wrecked it. So she's walking to the bus stop with her back brace on, pregnant. She's going to the bus, man, and she's taking the bus, and she's going to this restaurant, and she's working her shift to just make a few extra dollars, right? And the whole time, she's decided she's going to relentlessly pursue this guy, man. She's going to relentlessly pursue this guy, even though this guy's got a boyfriend, and even though she's in a back brace, and even though she's having to ride the bus, and even though her life is just terrible, she's getting through, she's surviving, and she's relentlessly pursuing this guy. She's just relentlessly pursuing him. So some time goes by, and she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And some time goes by, and as she gets to be about 7-8 months pregnant, she finally gets another shot. She gets another shot with this guy, and they decide that they maybe will give it a chance, and she's just been absolutely relentless about it. They decide that maybe they'll give it a try and see what happens. So they kind of come together, and nobody's for them. Everyone's against them. Nobody understands it because they were just tumultuous, man. Nobody gets it. So they decide to come together. They have the baby together. And ultimately, she ends up dragging that guy. She ends up dragging that guy out to Paris, Kentucky. She drags that guy out to Paris, Kentucky. And she tells him to go get a good job. And he fills out an application. And he goes and he gets a job at Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. And now here it is, fast forward. My son... My sixth child, my son's birthday today. He's 1 year old today. And my wife and I, we have 5 kids together. She homeschools. She homeschools all the kids, man. She homeschools them all. She takes care of them. We have an incredible marriage. We have a great relationship. Our past we've put behind us. And the reason I want to share this story with you this morning, this story of how my wife and I met and how our relationship started and how it was just awful. It was just awful in the beginning. But the reason I wanted to share this thing with you is because my wife taught us something that we all need to learn today. My wife taught us that we need to choose the things that we love. The things that we love, we need to chase them. We have to chase them relentlessly. My wife chased me relentlessly. She had a vision of what our future looked like. She had a vision of what was going to be best for her child. She went into mama mode. She went into mama mode. She stopped all the nonsense and the craziness and the drinking and all that. She went into a mama mode so she could protect this kid, and she pursued me relentlessly, and she drug me by my ear. She drug me out to Paris, Kentucky, this tiny little place where I never in a million years wanted to be in Kentucky, man. Never. But she drug me out here, and she sat us down, and she said, this is what we're doing. Now go get your butt a job. and I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to take care of these kids, and we are going to create a life together. Whether you like it or not, sucker. That's basically how she came at me, man. Relentless. But the one thing that we learn from that is we have to chase the things we love relentlessly. And there's going to be trials and tribulations along the way. It's going to be hard. No one's saying that it's going to be easy just because you're chasing what you love. The thing that you love might be running away from you, like I was running away from her. The thing that you love might be you might have to get up in the morning and put your back brace on because it hurts. And you might have to strap it on and pull it in tight just so you can even walk. And you might have to take yourself to the bus stop while you're pregnant in a back brace just to get to work and take the bus home at night and call and call and call and call and call. No matter what, be relentless when chasing this thing that you love. Don't let anybody get in the way, man. Don't let anybody get in the way. There's another story I want to tell you this morning. There's this kid, right? There's this kid that comes and works for me. He comes working for me over at Dan Cummins. The only reason he came and worked for me is because his dad was working for me. So his dad's like, hey, will you give my kid a shot? I'm like, sure, I'll give your kid a shot. So this kid comes. He starts working for me. He's selling cars, and he's doing great. But this story isn't even about him. This kid has a friend, right? He starts doing good in the car business. So he tells one of his friends, hey, man, I'm doing good over here at Dan Cummins. You should get a job. His friend's 19 years old. So his friend's like, all right, cool. What kind of job? What should I do? And he's like, dude, you should be like a porter. Like you be great, man. You could be worth a lot. You could be a lot tech, parking cars and stuff like that. Like I'll sell cars and you could park the cars and it'd be great. And his friend was like, all right, cool, man. Yeah, I'm going to go apply. Can you get me an interview? So he gets the kid an interview with me, right? And Jerry's still out whether she messed up or not. Shut up, Tom. So he's like, yeah, dude, you could be a lot tech. That'd be great. So the kid's like, cool, yeah, man, sure, whatever. Get me an interview. So he gets an interview with me. Now, I'm supposed to interview this kid to see if he's going to make a good lot tech. The kid shows up in a suit and tie, right? The kid shows up in a suit and tie. I'm like, what is this dude doing? Why is this dude here in a suit and a tie? I thought he was applying to be a lot tech. So I start talking to the kid. I'm like, wait a minute, man. This kid ain't no this kid's not he's 19 years old, but I don't think he needs to come in entry level. I don't think he needs to come in entry level. I think maybe this kid could sell some cars. Seriously, I think this kid could sell cars. So I went ahead and threw him on the sales floor, put him as a salesman. And it wasn't long, man. He'd only been working for me like a week or something. Kid gets frustrated, gets aggravated, punches a hole in the wall, right? He punches a hole in my wall at my house, right? So I'm mad. They pull me outside. I go out there and buy my house. I'm in the dealership. That's my house. Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick is my house. So he punches a hole in the wall at my house. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this kid? I give him an opportunity. I'm letting him sell cars. He punches a hole in the wall at my house. So I find out about it, and I'm like getting ready to go back there. I got some other stuff I got to deal with, but I'm getting ready to go back there and find out what the heck is wrong with this kid, right? So some time goes by, and I go back there, and when I get back there, there's the kid. There's the hole. And what's he got in his hand? He's got some drywall stuff, man, stucco or whatever the heck you want to call it. He's got the little spatula, and here he is. He had put the grid up. And the kid was sitting there, and he was fixing the drywall hole in the wall. This 19-year-old kid when I came around the corner. Now, see, I had come around the corner ready to fire this kid. I had come around the corner like, who the heck does this kid think he is? 19 years old, coming in my house, punching the dang hole in the wall at my dealership. I had come around the corner ready to fire the kid. But then when I saw he was patching up his mistake, when I saw he had taken the time to go across the street to get the drywall, to come back, to fix his mistake, it's not like he just punched the wall and ran off and left it for somebody else. No, he made a mistake, and he knew that he made a mistake. He knew that he screwed up. He knew that I was going to be pissed off. He knew all those things. But yet he stood there boldly in front of me and said, hey, man, I made a mistake here, but I'll fix it. Please give me another chance. That same kid sold cars for 2 years. That same 19-year-old kid became one of the leaders on my floor. That same 19-year-old kid became one of my youngest finance guys at 21 years old. That same 19-year-old kid that just a couple years ago punched a hole in my wall because of his maturity level, because he was a little aggravated and frustrated. That same kid that came in to apply for a lot tech position. The same kid that came in and showed up in a suit and tie for a lot tech position. That kid bought a 2018 Grand Sport Corvette yesterday. He leased a 2018 Grand Sport red, white, and blue Corvette yesterday. He's 21 years old. He's 21 years old, but he works relentlessly. He pursues his dream relentlessly. He doesn't let anyone stand in the way. He doesn't let somebody tell him that he should be a lot tech. He didn't let somebody else tell him you're only worthy of this. He said, "Get me the interview. Get me the interview and let me show you what I can do." He showed up at the interview for a lot tech position in a suit and a tie. He punched a hole in the wall and had to face my wrath and stood boldly, said, "I apologize. I will make it up to you. I made a mistake, but I promise you, give me another opportunity and you won't regret it." He fought tooth and nail to climb above his competition. And the dude just bought a freaking Corvette yesterday. 21 years old, man. Strong, right? I love it. I love these kind of stories, and I love what we can learn from them. I love how my wife chased. She pursued passionately and didn't let anyone stand in the way, and was able to create the life that we now have today. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. This group wouldn't be here. None of this wouldn't be here if my wife would not have relentlessly pursued what had to be done to offer her children the best life humanly possible. And she didn't let anyone stand in the way. So we have to chase the things we love relentlessly. We can't let anyone stand in the way. Ever. And then Austin, man. The kid's name is Austin Sipple, okay? You can follow him on Facebook or whatever. Austin Sipple. The kid that was told he was a lot tech. The kid that was told he was worthy of parking cars and nothing more. But yet he shows up in a suit and tie. And yesterday, just yesterday, after just a couple short years, he's buying a Corvette. These stories, I love these types of stories. I love underdog stories. I love feel-good stories. I love comeback stories. And I know you have one in you. That's why I share these stories with you. I know you have a comeback story. I know you're putting in the work. I know that you're relentlessly pursuing something. And I know that sometimes you run into walls and it's a struggle and you're like, "Oh my gosh, dude, I can't push through." Or "Why am I doing this?" Or "Is it even all worth it?" Or "Can it happen to me?" And here's the truth in it all. The truth is, not only can it happen to you, the truth is it absolutely will happen for you if you continue to relentlessly pursue the things that you love. If you continue to never, ever allow anyone to stand in your way. And if you continue to fight this enemy within, okay? Fight this enemy within that's telling you you're not worthy. Fight the enemy within that's telling you you're only capable of parking cars and that's all that you can do. Fight the friends and the family members and the people that are trying to put a value on you. Fight all that. Fight all that, because you are far more valuable than anybody knows. Far more valuable than you even think to yourself. You see, you are this child of God that was uniquely created to be the absolute best version of you that you could possibly be. You have these talents. You have this ability to create. You have this ability to make an impact on this planet. It is in you. It's your job to bring it out, though, man. Not everybody's going to be lucky like me. Not everybody has a girl that's going to grab him by the ear and drag him to his destiny. Not everybody's got that. However, we all do have a Father. We all do have a Father above that will try to guide us. I promise, if you tap into him, he'll try to guide you. So sometimes we might not get dragged. Sometimes things might get in the way, but I promise you, you can get there. I want to tell your story on this show, man. That's what I want to do. I want to tell your story. I want to be sitting here 6 months from now talking about you the way that I'm talking about Austin and his Corvette. I want to be sitting here a year from now and talking about you the same way I'm talking about my wife and how she put together a life by relentlessly pursuing the thing that she loved. I want to tell your story next, okay? So let's get on it. Let's get on it today. Let's start working on your story today. I want to hear your comeback story. I want to hear it. I want you to work on it. Be relentless. I love you guys. I'm running super late because I'm passionate about today's episode, but I love you guys. Do me a favor. Share this. Somebody in your circle needs to hear this. Share it. We take it in. We take it in. We take it in. We learn, and then we push it out. We push it out into the universe. That's how it works. Share the feed. Have an amazing day today. Have an incredible day today. Realize that you are one of the elite individuals that is choosing every single day to rise and grind. And that choice is making a powerful impact on everyone around you, friends, family members, coworkers, all that. So continue doing what you're doing. If you need more videos, go to GlennLundy.com. If you need some rise and grind gear, go to GlennLundy.com. If you need to get your event tickets to the event August 12th, go to GlennLundy.com. And I need you to just kill it today, all right? Have an amazing day. Have a spectacular day. Have a phenomenal day. And most importantly, come back here tomorrow. See me again at 5:30 a.m. as we choose to rise and grind.